Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana. And we're here today with special guest, Athena Bahri, who's here to share with us her new book, Raise Your Vibes, Energy Self-Healing for Everyone. So would you like to learn how to harness the healing and empowering energies gifted to us by the universe? Well, today's show is just for you. So Athena Bahri is a certified Reiki master, crystal Reiki master and chakra healer, and the creator of Crystal Reiki Healer, one of the fastest growing online presence in the field. Athena contributes to podcast and radio shows and performs Reiki healing locally in California, as well as reaching people around the globe via distant healing. So let's welcome to the show, Athena Bahri.
Oh, thank you so much, love. I'm so grateful to be here and be able to share with you and your audience. So thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, what an honor it is to have you here and to talk about your new book. I have to ask, what inspired you to write this?
Oh, well, it was a long journey in my own path of dealing with pain. I had a chronic back pain for 16 years, and I had tried everything in the Western method, everything like doctors, physical therapy, pain meds, and it finally came to a head that I was going to need surgery. And I just thought that it has such a high failure rate. I was terrified. So I started looking into other things to help myself heal. And I came into Reiki, and it has truly blessed my life in ways that I can't even imagine. And being able to share that now with others is really just such a gift and a way of, giving back and sharing with them how to do this. When I was healing from my back surgery that I had finally gone through and used Reiki to find my doctor and make sure I was going to the place for my highest good, I really struggled. And in the room after my surgery, I had the most incredible pain that I've ever experienced. And I've had 3 kids. So this was like mind blowing. And my jaw was rattling. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see anything. And over my sobs, my husband yells down at me, you're a Reiki master, for God's sakes, Athena, do Reiki on yourself. And I'm like, oh, wait, I can do that? Yes. Okay. I can do that. And I mean, I'd only ever done it in, nice, calm, beautiful, serene settings. So this was very different. This was like full on trauma. So I started, going through, hand positions and channeling. And it was such an amazing experience. And in like 45 seconds, my jaw stopped rattling. My breath came back to me. Suddenly I could see there were actually lots of people in my room. And it was like one of those moments of like awakening, enlightenment, realization where I thought, oh my God, this really works. I mean, not just, I know it works. I'm a Reiki master, but this really, really works. And how do I share this with everybody? So that's kind of how it began.
Oh my gosh. Well, and that's so right when you think about it that way. I mean, kudos to your husband, because a lot of times when you think about energy healing or Reiki, it is when we're like on a table relaxing, not during the actual trauma itself.
Right, exactly. And, that's the thing about spirituality is it's not always all, happy and light and roses. I mean, it's those times of real struggle and real pain that it really becomes such an important tool for us to use to heal ourselves. And that's kind of the whole book has so many chapters in there about, ailments that people really deal with, everything from, anxiety and depression to emotional pain, physical pain. It's really to help guide people through that because, life is messy. And, sometimes we just need a little guidance to help get us through. So hopefully this will serve as a light for others as it has for me.
Yeah, I mean, now's a perfect time for this book when you consider everything people are going through. I mean, it's just been really tough.
Yes, it has been quite the year, or we're going on past the year now. And I never imagined, I mean, when I started writing, we weren't in the pandemic yet. And then I finished it during the pandemic. And now it's like just, I mean, it's all about divine timing. Everybody's been kind of locked in, and we've had a moment to really tune in to what's important to us, what matters to us. And a lot of people face struggles that they hadn't before. And so hopefully this can, help kind of bring them out of that, raise their vibes and help them live a happier, more wholesome life. And hopefully energy healing will be a new part of their journey, because it really has changed my life in the most amazing ways.
Oh my gosh, how empowering is that? And I think it's really encouraging for people to hear that they can do something themselves that will help elevate their existence, their health, their well being, their mental well being. When you were writing this book, and kind of doing your thought process for what's going to go in it, was there anything that kind of surprised you? I mean, did you channel some stuff?
Well, there was a lot of channeling. Yes, it was a lot of it. The whole book, just even writing it, was a journey in itself. And everything that's in there, I used myself. So I'm kind of like my own guinea pig. I didn't want to put in any information or any, rituals or any practices that I hadn't actually tried myself, because I know they work. So that was really important to me, to continue being, just to be authentic and give people real tools, like real things that I know work because it's helped me. And, not everything will help everybody at the same time. We're all different. We're all incredible energy beings. And, what works for us one day may not work the next. And so it was really amazing to be able to kind of tune in myself to reach what we can do depending on what we're going through in a moment. And I've experienced all of these. So it was really, amazing angelic guidance, let's just say. Angels were definitely with me all the way through. And I had crystals around me and around my laptop all the time while I was working, just to make sure that, the energy that I was putting in was for their highest good, and that what was coming through would be communicated in a way people could understand. So there was definitely a lot of energy work there. And then, of course, at the end, before, I told my publisher, before you send it to print, I need to see the final copy. Like, I need that final print before it goes to press, because it was really important to bless the entire book, and especially that section on attunement, so that when people follow the steps in tuning themselves, we call it a self-attunement. But it's really me channeling energy through this book, through the actual pages themselves, so that Reiki can flow and people can receive it in a way that's pure and helpful for them.
So when we talk about energy healing and Reiki, I know most of our listeners know what that is, but for those that are new, why don't you share a little bit about what those are?
Well, yes, of course. We kind of live in a time where we're really dependent on doctors, physicians, nurses to tell us how to heal ourselves. And we've kind of lost that, that intuition of how to help ourselves. And energy healing really and Reiki fills in those gaps. They're a beautiful blend together. Energy healing and Reiki itself, you're literally channeling that divine source energy, that light, you can call it what you want, whether it's depending on your belief. It's, from God, from the universe, from the cosmos, the angels, whatever it is you believe in, that has, they have an energy, and you're able to, with Reiki, channel that into your own body, into your own life, to where you really need that support, where you really need that healing. And energy healing is very gentle. It works very well. Reiki is now being used in hospitals even, and showing an amazing way of helping people heal faster, lowering their pain levels. Crystals also have their own unique vibration, and that energy really helps our own body align with it. And I know that kind of sounds, when you first start getting into it, it's a little bit like, wait, what? Crystals help me? But they do. They have, everything is an energy. Everything has a vibration, even our thoughts. So when we align those to something that's, like a crystal or to Reiki energy or another healing modality that's energy based, we're really shifting our own vibration to one that's more positive. And we all know that for the most part, everybody, things like stress, which starts in our mind, literally changes our physical body. It releases hormones. We have aches, pains, insomnia, all these kind of things that we have a physical response to, something like stress. So just imagine, how your body can perform and do well when you use positive thought versus, stressful thoughts. It really does change how we feel. It changes how our body works. I mean, our cells are incredible. Our bodies are like the universe all in a little body, right? All these like amazing different little pieces of ourselves that work together. And when we have them work at a higher vibration, we really do live healthier. So it's, meditation has gained ground in recent studies, and over the last few years, UCLA did a whole study on mindfulness practice, and they found that they started this because they were dealing with people who had chronic pain, and nothing they would prescribe or treat with was working. So they started meditation, and they found that by doing daily meditation, the patient's pain levels actually went down. Like their bodies started working the way they're supposed to, the way they're meant to, by relieving that stress of physical pain. And energy healing and Reiki, it's a very similar concept where you're channeling this beautiful healing energy for yourself and just everything in your body. Your cells made up mostly of water, and they're vibrating with this beautiful frequency. And that's what really helps us to just live a better life, live happier, live healthier. Anything that we're healing from heals a little faster. I didn't use pain medication when I had gotten home from surgery. The pain medication they had given me just made me feel so crazy and unstable, and I wasn't, myself. My kids were scared. I was talking kind of like nonsense, and I just decided, this is enough. There has to be a better way. I'm going to work with my crystals. I'm going to work with frequent daily Reiki treatments, my shower meditations. And together with all those, I was really able to get my pain levels down. And this was a major back surgery. This was a fusion at my L5S1. And the pain was really, we had nerve pain going on. We had all these different elements. I have 6 screws and 2 brackets in there. And, my body really had to adjust to this. And the pain medication just wasn't helping me. It wasn't doing it. It didn't even take the edge off. So when I started channeling Reiki and really getting serious about taking my power back and taking my healing into my own hands, that's when everything really shifted. And here I am years later, and I'm still living daily with no pain. And I'm telling you, after a lifetime of it, it is such an amazing blessing to live without pain. And if I can share that with others, I mean, what a gift to give back, because it's been an amazing thing for my own life.
How empowering is that to be able to get to a place where you can work on yourself and at least know that you have some outlets? Because you're right. I mean, a lot of people get very sick on these medications and don't want to take them because it really kind of alters our state.
It really does. And I'm not saying, stop taking your medication, stop going to your doctor. Absolutely, you need to have that support. It's just more that that's not the end goal. That's not the end of the line for us. We really can take our power back. We really can take our own healing into our own hands. And it's really time. And having this past year, stuck at home, I think really has taught a lot of us, because we couldn't even see our doctors. We couldn't even go anywhere to see anybody. And, the teledoc and this stuff like that, it helped for major things, but it didn't really serve the purpose that it was meant to. So we were really forced to look into alternative ways to take care of ourselves, which I mean, it is kind of a silver lining, right? Like finally we were put in a position where we had to focus on ourselves and focus on our own healing. And we really haven't done that for some time. So, there's always a silver lining there.
Well, thank goodness for those silver linings. On that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Are you an actor, public speaker, or an executive telling your story over Zoom? Jean-Louis Rodrigue and Scott Weintraub's new book, Back to the Body, takes the process they use to coach top Hollywood talent like Margot Robbie, Jack Black, and Ke Huy Quan and makes it available to everyone. Using your body and its energy as a point of departure, your work will gain an enhanced level of performance and depth. Back to the Body, available on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Every day, pets are surrendered and abandoned. For these helpless and hurting animals, Paws Humane Society acts as a voice for the voiceless, providing hope for a brighter future. You can make a difference in the life of a shelter pet. Become a humane hero today. Just $10 a month will provide much-needed food, shelter, medical care, and love. It takes a community. It takes heroes like you. Together we can. Together we will. Together we are Paws Humane. Visit pawshumane.org to be a hero in every animal story.
What if everything we think we know about addiction, depression, anxiety, and trauma is missing the one key element that will actually let you walk away from them for good? My name's Bob Gardner, founder of The Freedom Specialist and creator of a body-based approach that eliminates suffering and creates happiness, health, and well-being on autopilot. You can read all about it in my book, Built for Freedom, or start your own adventure toward lasting freedom at thefreedomspecialist.com.
If you want to stop divorce fast, you do not need to waste years in therapy. You do not need to work on yourself, and you do not even have to have your spouse on board. If your spouse wants out, if they're filing for divorce, separation, or having an affair, what you need is a proven process to turn your marriage around. Book a free breakthrough session with us at highthrivecoaching.com/apply.
Dr. Richard London, who has 25 years of experience being known as the Man of Steel with the Heart of Velvet, presents the Life Wellness System, The Road to Yes, a mentoring system that brings you to becoming a wellness heir. Imagine having wealth, wellness, love, peace, and spirituality in abundance and balance now. Visit doctorateoflife.com or call 720-213-8021 for a free 15-minute wellness evaluation.
The first thing you need to know about me is that I love my kids, but they are not my everything. They used to be, but that's when my entire life fell apart. In order to pick back up the pieces, I had to put the love I have for myself before everything else, including my kids. I'm Jessica Dennehy, and I own multiple businesses. I'm a best-selling author, and I have all the strategies that I've used to make my life what it is today. And I'm going to teach you how to do them in my new book, Selfish is a Superpower. So go get your copy today on Barnes & Noble or jessicadennehy.com.
Announcing a revolutionary tool for wellness. Scalar Light has the ability to enhance and harmonize your own bioenergies. With Scalar Light, you can get started in just minutes and begin feeling better the very next day. Scalar Light is a remote energy that gently and subtly works with your own body's bioenergies, increases pro-cellular wellness, and enhances your body's immunity.
Experience the benefits of Scalar Light. Try a complimentary 15-day experience at scalarlight.com.
In your hands lie ancestral patterns. These patterns shape how you think, what you struggle with, and experiences you love, your life pattern. We're going into the latest neuroscience of biological hand analysis, a realm beyond palmistry where science and the soul entwine. Hand analysis is the latest method to transform lifelong patterns. I am Master Hand Analyst Brent Bruning. Join us and visit thepowerinyourhands.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We're here with special guest Athena Bahri, who's here sharing with us her new book, Raise Your Vibes: Energy Self-Healing for Everyone. In your book, you talk about sacred spaces, and I'd love for you to share with our listeners how they can create this sacred space in their own environment today.
I love that. Yes. Well, it really can be as simple or as, as simple or as ritualistic as you want it to be. When we're creating our sacred space, we're really just tuning in to the energy and the vibration that's around us. We're creating this little spot where it's like, this is where I'm going to perform my ritual. This is where I'm going to heal myself. And just by declaring that as being your space to do this, you are creating your sacred space. So it's not like you don't have to go anywhere. You don't need to have a special room in your house. It can be a corner in the other room. It can be sitting in your car. The space is really the energetic space around you. And by just tuning into your own energy and declaring like, this is my sacred space where I am choosing to heal myself, it's really that simple. And I know people think it's, no, I have to do all these different steps and there's so many rules. Like, my whole thing is take those rules and toss them. You don't need all these rules. That's just restricting yourself and restricting your own belief in yourself. You can heal yourself from anywhere. I don't know how many times I created a sacred space in my shower where I could just tune in and have a moment to heal myself. And I was in a shower. So really, it doesn't matter where you are. It's just about creating that energetic field within and around yourself so that you can do your work.
So do you find that when people start their day off this way, it kind of sets them up to have a better day and just kind of work with that healing power?
Absolutely. Well, when you're going to create a sacred space, typically you're doing this to create a space for you to do your spiritual work. For beginning your day, I really, really love and value a gratitude practice. This is something that I do every single day. I mean, it's like, even before I brush my teeth, I do my gratitude practice. Before I get out of my bed, before I look at the phone, I take those few precious, beautiful moments in the morning, before life has taken hold, and just list off like 3, 4, 5 things that I'm grateful for. And when you do this, you're shifting your mindset into a positive thought process. You're shifting your energy into the positive. And then everything that comes your way later that day is already, you're starting from such a high point that even when, life will send you hurdles, which it does, right? It'll send you things that you weren't prepared for. But because you've started at that higher vibration, it's much harder to take you down. So starting with that gratitude practice is really such an important and valuable tool, and so easy, so free. You don't need anything, just those few moments to yourself. And I really welcome everybody to try that. Just try it for a week. See how you feel first thing in the morning. Don't touch your phone. Don't get up to go to the bathroom. Just list off 3, 5 things that you're grateful for. And that can be, your bed, your coffee, your partner, your children, having the opportunity to start another day. All of these things are things that you can be grateful for and shift your mindset into a positive.
So when you talk about raising our vibration, for people that are kind of going, gosh, what is that? How do I get it? And what does it do for me? So what is all those things?
Yes. Well, I know. My husband at the beginning was like, oh, what is this hippy dippy stuff? Like, you're doing hoodoo voodoo. And it's really not hoodoo voodoo or hippy dippy. I mean, I guess you could say it is, but it's what we're doing. We're all creatures of energy, and energy has a vibration. So really everything around us has a vibration. So how do you want that vibe to be? Do you want that to be positive? Well, yes, of course we all want to, but then we get stuck in this, that inner voice, that mindset where we're, putting ourselves down or saying we can't, and really those self-defeating thoughts. So learning to turn those off and shift ourselves to a positive mindset, that is raising our vibration. That is bringing our own vibe for our body higher. And everything functions better that way. There have been, studies on water where, because water holds memory and it's affected, and keep in mind, our bodies are mostly made of water. And in this experiment, just saying the word love to the water, to the frozen ice, changed the literal structure and the shape of this water. So you have these beautiful looking like snowflakes and crystalline looking things. And it was just beautiful. Whereas when they would say words of anger or of hate or like low vibrational things, you would see the water transform into these really kind of ugly like blobs and no shape and no synchronicity in there. And so our bodies being partly, mostly water, we have the opportunity to do the same for ourselves and speak that love to ourselves and, kind of turn off that negative voice. One of the things I love to do is name that voice, like, our ego. Name that, give that ego a name and tell him to take a hike. So I call mine Bobby, and I have nothing against Bobbies. I love Bobbies, but that just happened to be the name that I chose. So every time I have that voice come in that's saying, Athena, you can't do this. This is out of your reach. You're not going to do well. You're going to fail. You shouldn't even try. You shouldn't even start. That voice that's not me. That's that ego. That's Bobby. And I'm like, you know what, Bobby? You and I are not having this conversation right now, and you're going to get out of my head. Like, we're done. And it just is like an incredible quick vibe fix, where you turn that off, you shift your mindset, and then suddenly whatever you're looking at, whatever's in front of you that you're working on, you can handle it. You can take it on. And that's very empowering, because then all of a sudden you have this mindset. So it's like, wow, I really can do this. And you shift your vibration. You feel so much better, and you feel empowered to handle the task at hand, whatever it is, even if it's something, simple, like, doing house chores or something. Now, all of a sudden, you can do this with grace and not feel so bad about handling it.
That just empowers our path, especially our spiritual path as we're moving forward. And it seems that as people are working on raising their vibe, it probably elevates them spiritually as well, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, we have an emotional body, we have a physical body, we also have a spiritual body. And honoring all three of these in their own way is really important. It's not just about raising your vibes, it's about living balanced and healthy. And, if one thing is not good, one thing is out of order or out of balance, it affects everything else. So again, like with, stress, which is, an emotional, mental type of thing, that stress manifests in ways that are unhealthy into our physical body. And likewise with our spiritual body, when we have spiritual pain or old traumas, these things tend to, if we don't deal with them, they tend to manifest into physical form. And then it's not until it's in physical form that we kind of pay attention. A lot of the time it's like, oh, this is hurting. And, oh, why is this hurting? Well, we can go to the doctor and we can treat, the pain, the symptoms. But if we don't get to the root of the problem and what's causing that pain to begin with, we're not really healing ourselves. Does that kind of make sense? Like this will manifest into our physical body.
Yeah, it really does, because it's, if we don't move this energy out, the discordant energy, we're really kind of in a place where we're in some ways kind of feeding it.
Right. We're feeding it. And then we're repeating the same cycles over and over again. If we don't heal from something, emotionally or spiritually, it's going to keep repeating itself. It's the same as when we have, let's say relationship issues where, you keep running into the same problems with new partners. Well, part of this is because we haven't dealt yet with the pain or the trauma from a past event or something that we physically or spiritually are dealing with. And until we really face that and really learn to release and accept ourselves and love ourselves for who we are, accept our faults, accept, what had happened and allow ourselves to move past it, we're just going to keep having the same issues come up over and over again. So, it's all about breaking that cycle, break that, free yourself from that. And, nobody else can do that for you. All that healing really starts within. It has to start with us. Nobody can make you feel a certain way. They can't make you happy. They can't make you feel like, healthy. They can't make you do anything if you're not open to receiving love. If you're not open to healing yourself, you're just going to keep repeating the same cycle.
Getting to this place of self-love is so important, but it's probably one of the more difficult things for people to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Self-love is one that a lot of people struggle with, and a lot of people will turn, and I've done this myself. So I'm not, I'm not like preaching here. We all have done it. And, when you're not feeling good about yourself and you're looking for that validation from someone else or that love from someone else, it's not really truly going to resonate if we're not feeling that about ourselves. It's almost like we're just not going to believe it. Like they can love us, but we don't believe it because we don't value and love ourselves. So it really has to start from within us. And, when we're radiating and vibrating from that place of love, people are attracted. People want to come around you. I mean, just think about when you walk into like a grocery store, for example, and you come up to the checkout and the teller is just, you can get this vibe. They're having a bad day. They're taking it out on you or on the register. And it makes you feel bad. Like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Well, imagine if that person instead is happy and like smiling and, really vibrating that energy of like happiness and of love. You want to be around that person. You want to keep chatting with them at the register. It's like, oh, I'm checked out. No, wait, I want to talk to you. It gives you that it's like magnetized where you're like, you really want to, and you're attracted to people that make you feel good. So when we can do that for ourselves, it really changes the dynamic of relationships that we come into play with. People that, whether it's through work or whether it's intimate relationships or friendships, when we're vibrating from that happier, healthier place where we love ourselves, where we value ourselves, people really respond to that in such a beautiful way.
Well, it's easy to see why your book is a bestseller. My goodness. Athena, I would love for you to share with our listeners where they can connect with you and be part of your community and learn more about your work.
Oh, thank you so much, love. Yes, well, I am at crystalreikihealer.com. And I also have all the social medias are the same. So YouTube is with Crystal Reiki Healer, Instagram at Crystal Reiki Healer, Facebook is Crystal Reiki Healer 1, actually. I couldn't get Crystal Reiki Healer for that one, which is kind of funny. But yeah, you can also just Google Athena Bahri and all of my things will pop up there. And I love to be able to connect with my community. I have an amazing, amazing community of people on Instagram that we're so engaged and we have so much back and forth and really giving people daily tips, daily ways of healing yourself, of checking in with yourself and learning how to kind of live at a higher vibration, tune in to what your chakras are, how to work with them. I'm so excited. I'll be starting Crystal Reiki Academy very soon. So that'll be crystalreikiacademy.com. And over there, we're going to dive into more in depth things that are in the book, but really taking it to the next level where it can show people and help them really to heal themselves, because it all starts with us. And if you're empowered, I'm empowered. If you vibrate higher, I vibrate higher, and so does everybody around you. So I really am hoping we can shift the vibe of like the collective, because this past year has really been a doozy for us. So I'm so excited to be able to reach these people and help lift them out of this fog that we've all been in for the last year.
Well, Athena, thank you so much for taking the time to be on a show with us here today.
Oh, thank you so much, love. I'm so grateful to be here with you and to share with your community. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
Well, thank you, Athena. It has been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, Raise Your Vibes, Energy Self-Healing for Everyone. Raise Your Vibes is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all indie retailers. And remember, support our indie bookstores. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.